Today's the day where I am doing something a little bit different, something I have been wanting to do for years. Welcome to the Get Ready With Me, where we can sit down and chat about makeup, about motherhood. There's just so much that I wanted to share with you guys today in a more casual setting and letting you into this really magical ritual process of putting makeup on. It's not about the makeup as well, it's a little bit about the makeup. This has been a ritual that I would say is my longest standing ritual of my life. Is that true? That might be true. As far as like a daily ritual, yeah, I think that that's actually very accurate. This is very much like authentic to me. And so I finally wanted to bring you in. I think I have felt a little bit nervous to let you guys into this. I'm really actually very excited because I think there's such a beautiful conversation to have in the video. This has been so impactful for me to reconnect to this side of myself. And you know, so many of the things that we're talking about, that I'm talking about in these other videos, and how we can really show up in our most powerful way. And you guys, it's so important that we really nail that down over these next few years. I'm just saying. I have a feeling 2020 was sort of just like the opening act, let's just say. And I really want you to feel as confident and as self-assured and as self-resourced as you can. And so I want to drop the judgments on what it's going to take for us to really show up in that powerful way, in that feminine way, in that beauty way. I am such a strong believer in that, and having that as a foundational part of my life. You guys can watch that beauty way video. That was an enlightenment that came to me so when I wasn't really attached to makeup so much. And then I started to reintroduce makeup into my life as a routine. I sort of shut it down for a few years because I think I felt embarrassed or ashamed that, you know, a spiritual person doesn't like to have like a full beat of makeup on. And it's just like, not authentic to me. There's so much, like, you guys, we could go so much more with the makeup, okay? Like glitter, smoky eye, like contour. We could totally go there. So let me know in the comments if you want to go there. I would love to go there. But I want to be offering what is actually like really inspiring and helpful to you. I have like a killer holiday glam look we could play with, just saying. So let me know what you guys think of this. I truly am so curious about your feedback, because I want this to go in a direction that's going to really help you out and inspire you in your day-to-day life. So without further ado, let's put on some makeup. So today I'm starting off with the Charlotte Tilbury, what is this called? So we're going through the Charlotte Tilbury makeup today because this is just a line that I've wanted to try this forever. You guys have to understand that I, in college, studied fashion merchandising, my first job. And so like I have a college degree in fashion merchandising, which is all of this stuff, all of these, you know, that whole consumer world. I was completely fascinated by all of that when I was younger. I collected Vogue magazines and textbooks about different sewing techniques and costume history. And I was always just so, okay, now I'm gonna try out that this foundation is for like when you want to be on camera. This is a very full coverage sort of foundation, I think, for me. But you just have to know, kind of with my history, that this has been, and when I say this, I mean makeup, fashion, all things that have to do with that ritual of getting yourself ready to face the day. This has all just been, I mean, for as long as I can remember, this has all been really important way for me to meditate and for me to kind of find my center. Even before my awakening, this was how I would really meditate. I'm into makeup itself, but it's more so for me about creating the space for the routine of sitting down and really just being with yourself. That has always been, oh my gosh, my favorite place to sit down and be with myself, where it's just you in the mirror. It's just so honest. And it's just about creating the space to look and feel your best. I don't do makeup for anyone but me. I'm literally not going to see anyone else today. And this has been a part of my practice more and more lately, because there's some things we're talking about on this channel now that are like, intense isn't the right word, but very real, right? Like, I'm really encouraging myself and all of you along with me to go into 2021 more self-resourced than ever. And for me, this part has always been something that has been so helpful, so helpful for me to really feel like I can take on anything. Because I'm feeling really confident, I'm feeling really put together. And even if that's just a video call, you know, I don't mind being the one who shows up to the video call and I'm well lit, I'm well dressed, I've had the time, I've created the time to put myself together. You know what I mean? Being a mom to small kids, that this can be tricky to fit this in. For the first few years of my kid's life, it was very rare that I would actually put makeup on. And this part, getting the foundation all blended in, this is one of my favorite parts. Having little ones really makes this a whole new thing. It's, you know, your time is different. Time is different when you've got little ones. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in Fair from Charlotte Tilbury. I had heard so many good things about this powder for so long, and I was really curious to try it. So today we're trying out the Charlotte Tilbury stuff. What I would love to do is to find brands that have some cleaner ingredients that can stand up to this standard, like to this packaging, to this level of really considering makeup artistry so seriously. This is the Airbrush bronzer in medium that I really like. I love to bronze myself up and contour. I'm not gonna get into a full contour today. We're just gonna do a little bit of bronzing. I think I wore makeup every day in high school. I think it was a pretty consistent thing that like I always did. And it was for, you know, at that time, I think it probably was more so for like the approval of others and all of those kind of scary feelings that we have at that really young age. But it was so comforting to me that, you know, I decided that this was going to be something that I pursued professionally. And so my first job out of college, I worked for a beauty buyer. I was like the assistant to a beauty buyer who was constantly testing out new makeup. We were sourcing a collection for a catalog aimed at more mature women, women in their 50s, 60s, and beyond. It was really satisfying for me being in that career. I really felt like I was always learning something. I was always wanting to learn more about the ingredients, learn more about how we can take care of our skin, because what's really interesting for me in my journey with this is that as much as I was infatuated with makeup, I also was really destructive to my skin. I would pick at my skin. If I had any blemish, I would, you know, really work at it for like to the point that it was really like harmful to my skin. But it was this like compulsive thing that I really struggled with through my 20s a lot too. And I've really gotten control over that. But it was this like addictive feeling where I like wanted to get my pores super cleaned out, and it just was sort of this, it was like the shadow side to wanting to take such great care of my skin. And so I've just had such a journey with all of this professionally, personally, and I've come to this realization that this is always going to be part of what works for me and what feels good for me. We're just embracing it. And what I think would be really fun on this journey of getting ready together and just kind of having these more casual, like more relaxed conversations is like, can I find other brands that are really clean, that match the quality and presentation of like these top tier kind of like celebrity go-to makeup brands. As my inner makeup artist is like, that sounds super fun. Next, I'm gonna grab this little blush that I used to use all the time for years. This was my go-to blush for probably 5 years or so, and it's the NARS Orgasm. You guys, I mean, this is such a popular blush, and I haven't touched this in forever, but I was at Ulta the other day. I got something and this came with it, and I was like, oh my gosh, such a throwback for me. This, I know, I mean, who else has this in their makeup collection? And I'm curious if I still like it. And I'm really curious, like, I wonder if there's a clean brand. There's a Savvy Minerals blush that I think would be really, really similar. I think when I went through my own awakening, I felt like I had to totally leave behind my love for beauty in this way. I felt like, and I did for a really long time. I need more blush. I think it's a bigger blush kind of day. I got really into like different yoga communities, different like wild women communities, and makeup was a no-no. Like it was a big no-no. It was a big like patriarchy conversation. And I don't know, I just sort of like was willing at the time to just be like, well, I guess that's just part of the sacrifice I need to make. Now that I see that I did that, it sort of makes me sad. Yeah, I don't know, just this is such an authentic piece in who I am, and what truly makes my heart so happy is showing up and doing all the makeup. And so welcome to that, to that aspect of who I am and who I've always been. And I want to hear your stories with makeup too. Like, did you ever wear, like, if you wear makeup, like, when did you start wearing makeup? What brand of makeup did you use? I would use Clinique because that's what my mom would buy me. And we would go to the Clinique counter together, and it was always so like I was adulting. You know what I mean? I was just like, I am here, I am an adult, I am wearing Clinique makeup, like, I'm serious. You know what I mean? Oh, it was so funny. Like, so funny when I think of that. Okay, so what I like to do when we get to this point is I'm gonna grab my powder again and sort of smooth out. Like, I can see there's kind of a harsh line where my bronzer is. There's some harsh lines down my nose. And for me, I have really big divots and pores on my nose from those years where I had terrible acne. I mean, I really mean it, like really severe, like going to the doctor kind of skin. There wasn't a dermatologist in my town, but we would literally just go to my family doctor, and my mom would just be like, what do we do? Now, I know now, I think most of that was just diet for me. And I feel like I've gotten it under control a little bit, but I know my skin is the first one to really, like, when I'm not getting enough water and all of that stuff, just like all of us. But anyway, I've got those big kind of dips on my nose. So I always just make sure I'm really, especially with powder, I just do a patting motion, and that makes a huge difference. And if I start wiping, it just, I don't know, it doesn't lay well. It doesn't lay right. So what I want to do next is this, and it's already open. You can see it's called Goldgasm. And it has this, like, you squeeze it out onto this. I don't love this. I want to love this. I mean, it looks really nice once it's actually on. It is beautiful. But I'm just not a fan of, I don't know, it is really pretty. I don't know if I would buy this again, especially because I do have that Scott Barnes highlighter palette. This one, I mean, it is so pretty on the skin though. So I just kind of squeeze it and then pat it down, and then I come to the inner corner and just give a little press, and then I'll blend all of that with my finger. I'm just gonna do a little bit of brown liner and kind of diffuse that today. That's what I'm gonna do. The Scott Barnes eyeshadow has been just so nice to work with. I would absolutely get more eyeshadows from him. I'm gonna get a little brush like this one. This is perfect. This kind of warmy, orangey, sandy clay. And that's the other thing, you guys, that with makeup like Scott Barnes and Charlotte Tilbury, and even in others that I love, what I would really love to find in cleaner makeup are the tones, because these tones look so beautiful on skin. Same with Charlotte Tilbury. That's kind of the problem I have sometimes with mineral makeup, or makeup that claims to be really clean, is like there's a gray, or even sometimes like a gray, I don't know, it's not that warm skin look that I want. And but I think I can find it. And that's, so we're kind of, I'm starting off and showing you like, this is what I like, even though there's part of me that's like a little bit nervous that a lot of you who follow me, you're gonna be like, oh my God, you use mainstream makeup, that stuff has like X, Y, and Z in it. It's like, I know, I don't do this every day. I do have cleaner makeup that I go to as my everyday makeup, but this is my favorite. This is my, like, this is what I love because of the beautiful tones and because of like the richness and the smoothness and how it actually applies as makeup, and how I feel so incredibly confident on camera when I use makeup like this, because it all just has like, it's a next level, very elevated look because of how it's made, the tones, the thought, and the experience that goes into creating this makeup. So maybe the journey we can go on in 2021 together is every once in a while doing sort of a sit down, get ready with me, and we try out some new, you know, cleaner makeup. But I'm just letting you know, I'm comparing it to like the quality that I like. And so that's where I am. That has been the thing that's been holding me back. So by the way, I'm taking this little brush, putting it in a light orangey shade and a warm eyeshadow shade, and we're gonna go underneath. I have been wanting to do these videos, you guys, these makeup videos for about 2 years now, and I have just been really afraid of kind of exposing that, you know, not every single thing in my artist box is like free of toxins and is like all natural. And you know what, most of the stuff that I have in my skincare, yeah, like skincare is different. I really want the skin, like everything I'm sleeping in, everything that's going on my body, and it's gonna stay there and I'm not gonna wash it off. Yeah, I want that to be like as clean as possible. But you know, makeup is different, and it just really, this stuff makes me so happy. It really does. So I started last night researching some brands because I knew I wanted to sit down. I knew I wanted to like do makeup together. I did start to find like Milk Makeup has a powder, has a setting powder I'm very curious about. A lot of people gave that really incredible reviews, and I'm thinking like, that's really interesting, that maybe that could be a dupe for that Charlotte Tilbury finishing powder that I love so much. This is really subtle. This is not like, this is very, very subtle. This is not like a big glitzy, like foiled, well, I guess you could probably layer this up and maybe it would be. But yeah, I started like really doing some research last night and trying to find like some things that I think would be like, okay, that's worth giving that a try to see if it could match what I like. And so I'm purposefully like starting off and I'm showing you, I do have clean makeup. I do, I have it. I wear it a lot. But when I want to look like this and like on camera ready, it's different. It's just different. A tip that I love, so I'm gonna grab the same fluffy brush I was using. I'm gonna deepen, I'm gonna go right in with that dark brown and actually put that in the corner as well. Just a a little, a little, a little. And then over here too. Now what I like to do, especially when I start getting into those like much darker shades, yeah, that's fun. Okay, I'm just gonna place it there. I'm gonna set this brush down because I placed it right where I want it. And then I take a clean brush, and that is what I do my little swirlies with, a clean brush, just to diffuse it and move it around just a little bit. I do my brows. This look in real life is sort of like, oh, that's like, she's got some makeup on, you know what I mean? But on camera, it's like not, it doesn't translate that way, which I always find really, really fascinating. I'm just gonna place a little bit in the sparse areas. And then what I love to do when I'm doing my eyebrows is I'll actually go in first and kind of fill in the bare spots, but then I'll comb it through. So I'll grab one of these spoolies, and then I'm like really pressing onto the skin and moving what I just laid down, moving that around a bit. So there's not any heavy spots where you can see my eyebrow pencil. Honestly, I feel like I want it, so since I was using all of these little tones anyway, I'm gonna take a little bit of that brown. I really love using like that as a contour shade and this as eyeliner, but then for me, I can also sort of add that warmth into my brows, and it just makes for such a nice, like all the tones go together. It's really cohesive. There is something really magical about that when you use like the same brown in different intensities all over the face. It just brings everything together, and it sort of feels like there's no starting and stopping of the look. And that is where I think makeup can get really, really magical. All right, back with my clean brush. I collect eye glitters, and I don't, not excessively. I only have a few. I am incredibly picky about them, and you can just take, it's best, I think, you just take your finger and rub into it and pat it on your lid, which is what I'm gonna do. I also used to be like, my daily go-to look would be those Stila, I think the color I really liked was Wanderlust. I used like the entire tube in like 3 months. I was wearing it all the time. That was sort of my go-to when the kids were really small, and I was just so missing makeup. I was just, I was really missing feeling really put together, and I was like, I need something. And so I got a little Stila, and we did not have much money at the time, so I got a little Stila Wanderlust creamy glittery eyeshadow, and I would pat that on my eye. I would put like a little bit of concealer around my nose and under my eyes, and really hydrate the skin. Like I would put on just like a ton of moisturizer, like a little mascara, and comb my brows, and I would have these like really sparkly eyes. And that Wanderlust, I think I might get that again. I mean, it was my daily, just my everyday, you know, when I was doing all the things with the kids and going to the park and everything, but it just gave me such a moment in the morning to feel really sparkly and really pretty. So I'm grabbing into this bag. This is my Savvy Minerals collection. This is my makeup from Young Living, which is definitely, it's way more of just like, if I just want to put something like literally the 5-minute face kind of makeup, this is my bag. I grab this bag and everything I need is right in here, and it's all very clean, like incredibly clean makeup, including the mascara. So I'm gonna put the mascara on. This is the Savvy Minerals Volumizing. It's really interesting. The first time Savvy Minerals came out with mascara, I was like, yes, you know, like I was so excited. I ordered it the day it was released, and this was like 3 years ago. So this was a long time ago. But I am such a mascara. I mean, like, it's my, if there was one thing to pick, it would maybe, you know, it'd be mascara and maybe like a lip balm. I love, love, love mascara. So they came out with this mascara, and it was awful. Like it was like, dang it. And it wasn't cheap. Like it wasn't a drugstore, which by the way, I I know drugstore makeup. I know if you have $30 and you want to go into Walgreens with me, I can get you hooked up. Like you will look incredible. I know what works in there. And there have been seasons of my life where it's just like drugstore is it. That's it. We're getting CVS coupons and we're going to make it work. Because this has been such like a really important part of my makeup therapy. Like I mentioned, I mean, it's just so yeah, it's something I really no matter what will figure out a way to make it happen. The first Savvy Minerals mascara was a total bust, and it was such a bummer. And they even as a company, there was a problem, like we apologized, like it was bad. And so then they came out with like a different formula. And this volumizing one is one of their newer formulas, and I am happy with this one. And I'm really picky with mascara. My favorite drugstore mascara that I do still, if I know I've got a long day and I want my makeup to like from the morning to the end of the day to look incredible, and it's just like guaranteed, I love the Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. That mascara it is so good. It is so good. But I really like this one. I really like this volumizing one from Savvy Minerals as well. It gives a really similar look. The only thing I do find to be challenging with these natural mascaras is that they never fully dry down. Sort of like that Lash Paradise, it'll kind of like dry down and then you're like set in stone, you know what I mean? Which is not always a pleasant feeling, and it's probably not the best for the health of your eyelashes. So that's why this one is what I go to every day, but it's not like it transfers. It's just like if I am gonna rub my eyes or something, like this is going to move, you know? Or like if I'm gonna really rub my eyes, this would transfer off. It would smudge. Okay, so finally lips. I usually end with lips. I found an essential oil in here. Motivation. I was going through a spell where I was using that every morning in my makeup routine. This is the Lip Cheat pencil. It's okay. I like it. There are some people who, they think that this, well, it is. I mean, it's beautiful. The tone, that's what it is with these Charlotte Tilbury, her products have the perfect undertones. So this is what the Pillow Talk lipstick looks like. Very, very good tone for me. I'm super happy with this, especially on days where I'm gonna be on camera or doing a video call and I just want like a pretty matte, full, like, I don't know, it's just such a beautiful lip for me. So this is the Pillow Talk lipstick, and I just really love that one. There's a lot of different lip products that I go to for different reasons, but this is one that I've just been playing with lately, especially when I've been filming my other YouTube videos. I just feel like it really works. So this is sort of that, not everyday look, but every day that I am filming or that I am on camera look. And so I wanted to show you guys that process, and it's definitely helpful for me to have these rituals where I sit down, I get really into my makeup, and then I show up for creative work. I really, are you guys the same way? I want to hear in the comments. I would love to keep doing these get ready with me videos, these more relaxed conversations where we can just take a breath. I think that's really, really important right now to be able to do that and get into things that are glittery, that help us feel really pretty, that help us feel really confident as we're showing up for all of the things that I'm talking about in these other videos that I'm posting that are, it requires that all of us are showing up. Not all of us, I mean like all of me is showing up, all of you is showing up. So what are the ways in which we can do that? And for me, getting myself really dressed and ready to face the day has significantly helped me the more that I've picked that practice back up. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you tune in to future Get Ready With Me videos. This is something I'm so looking forward to sitting down and sharing with you and just, you know, having a little bit more of a relaxed conversation together. I am sending you the biggest blessing and wishing you the biggest miracles that only you could be so brilliant to command. I love you so much.